President Trump also says the problem with NATO is we will be there for them 100%, but he's not sure they'll be there for us. Former U.S. Ambassador to NATO Kurt Volker is here for more on the president's comments on NATO. Ambassador, thank you for coming on.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
So what's your reaction to the president saying U.S. control of Greenland wouldn't be a threat to NATO? It would actually make the alliance stronger.
Well, it depends what you mean by control. If it means taking away the territory, sovereign territory of another country and making it part of the U.S. over their objections, that's the end of NATO. No one is going to want to be allied with the United States under those circumstances. However, if it means that the U.S. is in control of security over Greenland and over North America, we have unfettered access through military bases, missile defense, air defenses, anti-submarine, you name it, I think everyone will be happy with that. That's part of our collective defense responsibilities, and people will be happy to see that, and Europeans will even provide host nation support. So it gets down to the details. Sovereignty is the issue that President Trump keeps raising that is a non-starter for allies, but all the rest of it is very achievable.
The big headline of this speech is the president saying he won't use force to get Greenland. How much does that ease concerns about the future of NATO?
Well, it's a start. It's a start. Certainly, this is what everyone was worried about because it would have been an end to NATO as we know it if he were willing to use force. But taking that off the table and saying, let's negotiate, that's a good step. People are going to be happy and they want to negotiate. Now let's see what comes out of that. I think it's quite possible to come up with a very good formula that gives the United States a lot of benefits, access, even host nation support or finances to increase security in Greenland. And I think we can do that without gaining U.S. sovereignty over Greenland. So if that's where we come out, I think it will be actually reinforcing of a good security arrangement.
And President Trump says the U.S. needs Greenland for national security. Is there anything the U.S. can't do militarily in Greenland right now that taking control of the island would allow?
No, we can do anything we want. We Denmark dating back to 1951. I read it recently. It allows the U.S. within the framework of military bases that are there to do pretty much anything we feel we need to do for security. It has been the decision of prior U.S. administrations to reduce the American presence in Greenland from 17 military bases to 1, from about 6,000 people to about 150 today. That was not Denmark or Greenland pushing that. That was the United States unilaterally pulling out. We can go back in and we can do the kind of military tasks that we need to do there, including Golden Dome, including missile defense, you name it, just today without any changes. What we might get from negotiations is some more host nation support, some more finances from NATO to support a U.S. presence, but that's to be talked about.
And you say despite Trump's tough rhetoric, he's a negotiator who always wants a deal. What do you think he's trying to get there? Any more than what you just listed?
It's hard to say. You know, only President Trump knows what he's really ready to settle for. He did say in an interview a little over a week ago that this was largely psychological, that you need to own something in order to invest in it. If you don't own it, you know, you just lease it, then you don't invest in something you lease. So there's definitely a psychological and real estate element to this. But the cost to the United States and U.S. interests of pursuing sovereignty over Greenland are so high that it is really not worth it. And I think we can achieve any reasonable U.S. interests while letting Denmark retain sovereignty, and we do the military and other support with support from our allies.
And these meetings in Davos were expected to focus on the peace efforts in Ukraine before Greenland took center stage. What do you think that means for a potential peace deal between Ukraine and Russia?
Well, you're having some meetings going on behind the scenes here. Ukrainians are here. As I understand it, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are here, meeting both with Ukrainians and with Russians. Kirill Dmitriev is here. I understand that Kushner and Witkoff are scheduled to go to Moscow afterwards. So it is not happening at the Trump-Zelensky level, but I think some of these negotiations are still going on.
Ambassador Kurt Volker, thank you.